Guilt is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as feeling responsibility for a crime or for doing something bad or wrong. This theme is ever present in William Shakespeare's Macbeth, as Macbeth struggles with feelings of guilt throughout the majority of the play. Although Macbeth primarily experiences guilt because of his murderous rage, driven by his desire to become and remain king, guilt can be felt for a variety of reasons. For this project, I chose to investigate guilt in our society today, through the media, a movie clip, and a series of interviews. The following clip is from an interview of Marion Jones, an athlete in the 2000 Olympic Games. In the video, she admits to steroid use prior to the start of the Games. Within the clip, she expresses her feelings of guilt and sorrow, as well as regret for her actions. Guilt from athletes and others in society is unfortunately very common as a result of poor actions.
And so it is with a great amount of shame that I stand before you and tell you that I have betrayed your trust. I want all of you to know that today I pled guilty to 2 counts of making false statements to federal agents. Making these false statements to federal agents was an incredibly stupid thing for me to do, and I am responsible fully for my actions. I have no one to blame but myself for what I have done. To you, my fans, including my young supporters, the United States Track and Field Association, my closest friends, my attorneys, and the most classy family a person could ever hope for, namely my mother, my husband, my children, my brother and his family, my uncle, and the rest of my extended family. I want you to know that I have been dishonest. And you have the right to be angry with me.
In this video, Marion represents Macbeth in that she recognizes that her guilt of using steroids caught up to her, clouding her judgment and causing her to lie. Macbeth's guilt from killing Duncan and then Banquo clouded his judgment and caused his murderous rage to continue. Macbeth, however, never fully admitted to his guilt. The next clip is from the movie The Proposal. In it, Margaret confesses to blackmailing Andrew. Her confession is evidence of the guilt she feels for what she has done.
Confession, actually. I am a Canadian. Yes, Canadian. With an expired visa, who is about to be deported. And because I didn't want to leave this wonderful country of yours, I forced Andrew here to marry me. See, Andrew has always had this extraordinary work ethic. Something I think he learned from me. And for 3 years, I watched him work harder than anyone else in our company. And I knew that if I threatened to destroy his career, he would do just about anything. So I blackmailed him to come up here and to lie to you. All of it. And I thought it would be easy to watch him do it. But it wasn't.
Margaret, like Marion, also represents Macbeth in this clip, as her guilt has caught up to her, leading to a confession. When Macbeth's guilt caught up to him, however, it led to his downfall and eventual death. As seen in the past 2 clips, guilt is a common theme both in media and in Hollywood. Lastly, in order to show how present guilt is in today's society, particularly in the lives of those around us, I interviewed 2 of my friends, as well as my dad, in order to get different perspectives on what guilt means to others.
Hi, my name is Kylan Hovis, and I'm a senior at Prior Lake High School.
Kylan, how would you describe guilt?
Guilt is when you know you shouldn't do something and you do it anyways, and then you feel bad about it afterwards.
Do you think guilt is permanent, or does it go away over time?
I think guilt definitely goes away over time. I feel like you can get over it. If it's something that's really big that you feel guilty about, it might stay for longer, but I feel like eventually it'll go away.
Hypothetically speaking, let's say that you went out drinking on Friday night and you came home and your mom asked you where you were and you lied to her and told her that you were at a friend's house sleeping over. Would you feel guilty about lying to your mom, and why?
I feel like I'd feel guilty about lying to her, but in like a part of me wouldn't feel guilty because then, I mean, she'd find out, so then I'd get in big trouble. But at the same time, lying is definitely something that makes me feel guilty.
Hi, I'm Leah and I'm a senior at Prior Lake.
Leah, is there a time you remember feeling guilty?
One time, me and my mom were in an argument, and I kind of told her that I hated her because I was just really angry, and I felt really bad afterwards because I obviously didn't mean it. But when you're in fights, sometimes you say things to hurt people that you don't mean it, but you say it anyways.
Does guilt motivate you or bring you down?
I think it can do both. For a lot of people, I think it brings them down, but sometimes guilt can be a huge motivator, and it ends up turning people's lives around. So, either way.
Hypothetically speaking, you have a math test on Monday, but the Vikings game is on the night before, and you decide to watch it instead of studying. The next day, during the test, you don't know how to do any of the problems, and you copy all the answers from your neighbor. How would you feel and why?
Obviously, most people would probably feel pretty guilty, but I feel like that's not a really accurate hypothetical because watching the Vikings is kind of a waste of time most of the time, but...
Hello, my name is Scott Stuvey. I'm Abby's father.
How would you define guilt?
I think guilt is a feeling that you have after you've done something wrong and you have some sort of a remorse. Generally, it's probably because you've hurt somebody, either emotionally or physically. You wish you could take it back, but you can't.
Does guilt motivate you or bring you down?
I think guilt brings me down initially, but I think there's very important lessons to be learned, which can motivate you to be a better person in the long run.
Do you think guilt is permanent or does it go away over time?
I don't think it ever goes away. So I would say it's permanent.
For my art component, I chose to use my talent in calligraphy to highlight an important point of guilt in Macbeth. In Act 3, Scene 4, Macbeth is speaking to Lady Macbeth and tells her that what he has done thus far has pulled him in so deep that there is no way out. He says, "I am in blood, stepped in so far, that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er." Here, Macbeth recognizes his wrongdoings and feels remorse for them. Macbeth's guilt for his murderous rage has caused him to become emotionally unstable, and he feels in this scene that there is no way out. I also dripped paint in different shades of red, symbolizing the blood that will ever be present in Macbeth's conscience. In addition to my art component, I chose to write a poem about guilt. The poem is titled Here to Stay. There is a feeling inside of me, one I cannot shake. The choice I made is through, but this feeling is not. It rushed in and is here to stay. It has taken control, clouded judgment, prevented happiness, persuaded secrecy, told lies, softened ambition, manipulated behavior, driven insanity, caused anger, consumed life, and blurred the opportunity for joy. This feeling is here to stay. Here to stay is remorse, is regret, is shame, is guilt.